The CEO of AEW, Tony Khan, has denied claims that Mercedes Mone has creative control, but a resurfaced Mercedes Mone clip has brought doubt to the claims. We'll take a closer look. Plus, Tony Khan has ruled out Britt Baker leaving the company. Happy Wednesday, wrestling fans. I'm Ben Allison here at Wrestling Republic, and let's get into today's news. So, all of this came about because over the last few weeks, a lot of fans have been saying online that Mercedes Mone is booking herself to win all these championships. And if you just look at a picture of her right now, I mean, you would be justified in thinking something like that could be within the realm of possibility. But more often than not in professional wrestling, things are fiction instead of reality. And Tony Khan was asked about the truth of the situation in yesterday's AEW media call, and here is what he said.
In the case of Tony or Mercedes or so many of the other great talents that I'll work with closely, I have the final say on what they do. But the idea that anybody in AEW has a creative control card, or that's why anybody would get a push here is because they dictate it, that's not how it works. I'm glad you asked about that because I've seen people infer that she must have, some kind of a creative card because she's such a feature on the show. But that's ridiculous to me because when you have somebody of that stature, you'd want to feature them, you'd want to push them strongly, and I think that's why. Frankly, in the case of Mercedes Mone, she is not only one of the biggest stars in AEW, but backstage, she's a great person to work with.
However, our comment section over on Instagram were not quick to believe Tony Khan. They were commenting all sorts of gifs, making fun of him and all of that stuff. People are saying he's just trying to defend Mercedes Mone, but is any of this really true? Because the main thing which contradicts this is an interview Mercedes Mone did with TMZ last year, where she was directly asked, "Do you have creative control?" And this is what she said.
But are you really? Do you have more creative control? I'm gonna do her job too.
I got this. I think just every single week you gotta watch. Yes, I have creative control, but I work with Tony Khan very closely, so it's great. It's a great combo.
So at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Mercedes Mone herself has said she has creative control. Surely that is enough to confirm yes, she does. Well, it's not actually as simple as that. And Fightful's Sean Rossap said this about the situation recently.
I asked AEW, I asked Tony specifically, and I was straight up told nobody in AEW has creative control or will ever have creative control. And it was outlined to me that was likely in character or just misspoke.
Now, whether or not you believe that is completely up to you, but at the end of the day with this story, I do personally have a feeling that it comes down to how you define creative control. Because if I'm being completely honest, I do think Mercedes Mone was being genuine in that clip, but I just don't think she meant creative control in the way that a lot of wrestling fans view that term. I think the truth is that in comparison to somewhere like WWE, she does have more control over her character, how her character acts, what she says, and all of that good stuff, right? But she still isn't able to book herself to win matches, to win titles, or any of that. That is all down to Tony Khan. But this is undoubtedly a really complicated and interesting conversation. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. Plus, while you're at it, if you haven't left a like and subscribe on this video, that would be massively appreciated. Thank you guys. Now it's time to talk about Britt Baker, because over the last couple of weeks, rumors have been spiraling across the internet wrestling community about her future. With some reports, some gossip even suggesting that she was trying to find a way out of her AEW deal. She wanted to leave the promotion. And after all, she hasn't actually competed in All Elite Wrestling since November the 13th when she took on Penelope Ford. I mean, what? That's 9 months now? That's crazy. And to make matters even worse, since this time last year, since last All In where she faced Mercedes Mone, she's only had 2 matches. So understandably, a lot of speculation about her future in the company has begun. After all, we have not heard anything about her being injured, and she has not publicly said anything herself, other than a couple of cryptic things here and there, but you never really know with those. But on yesterday's AEW media call, the CEO himself, Tony Khan, was directly asked about this, and this is what he said.
I've never had a conversation about Britt departing AEW. I like Britt a lot, and I think one thing we've done really well with AEW is build a tight, focused show around a really strong roster, and it's been very consistent. And I think we've really had a very, very good year of pay-per-view and TV. And absolutely, there are some people that have not been featured, that we have a great group of wrestlers that have not necessarily been on the show a lot, or even in some cases 2025, that are very talented, and we would like to work back in when the opportunity presents itself.
So there we have it. According to the big boss man, Britt Baker is not leaving the promotion, but instead is just benched. She is not needed right now. And honestly, their roster is absolutely stacked. They only have 4 hours of TV every week, so it is understandable that they cannot use everybody. But when you have a star the level of Britt Baker, well, some fans aren't happy about it. Shardy703_ says, get my dentist on TV, TK. A lot of fans are missing her. And Name41 is saying TK doesn't want Britt to leave. And perhaps, this is speculation, but perhaps that is a factor. Maybe Tony Khan doesn't really have anything for Britt Baker, but he doesn't want to let her out of her deal because she could go to WWE and become a big star there. But at the same time, we know WWE are also having similar issues at the minute, where their roster is so stacked too that they can't fit everybody on. So it's not really an easy answer to this. I mean, Isaac says, if she's not leaving, why is he not using her on TV? To which Name41 again replied saying, then why not let Britt Baker out of her contract and allow her to leave if she wants to? But that is an important part about this, though, because Britt Baker has not said that she wants to leave the company. She's not publicly said that, and we know she's also a dentist in her free time as well. I mean, not many people are like a part-time dentist, part-time wrestler. It is a real rarity, so maybe she's enjoying just getting both paychecks while working as a dentist. I mean, being paid for 2 jobs when you're only doing 1, I mean, that's kind of a result if you ask me. But what do you guys think about this entire Britt Baker situation? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Peace.